Welcome, my constant reader friends. I'm Ted, and this is Ted Reads Books and Stuff. All right, take two. Yeah. If you're watching this Monday, it's going to be later on Monday because I filmed this video already once before, and something happened. I edited it, and as I was uploading it, somehow it got corrupted and it just would not upload. I kept trying it all day yesterday. So I'm filming it a second time Monday morning. I'm on vacation this week, so that's good. But if this video is a little jumbled, I'm sorry, because I already filmed it once and now I'm filming it again. I don't know, it happens to me sometimes. Actually, on my other channel, my board game channel, it's happened to me several times, but those files usually are a lot bigger. But this one, I don't know what happened. So we're doing it again. Yay! What are we doing? Let's do an update real quick. TALTOS, Lives of the Mayfair Witches. This is the third book in the trilogy of the Mayfair Witches, and I finished it. So we're going to talk about this, but I've got a bunch of other things to talk about too. So let's set this aside. I have not made any progress on Autumn Cthulhu. Kind of a reason for it. So I'm going to set this aside. Stephen King, my Shorty King project, Full Dark, No Stars, I have not started at all. Again, another reason for it. Set that aside. And last but not least, A Righteous Thirst for Vengeance. We're on the last two chapters of this. I haven't started reading it yet either, for a reason. What's the reason? Well, by the time I post this and you're going to be seeing this on Monday, I probably will have already started my 24-hour read-athon challenge, whatever it's called. So I've done this several times in the past. This will be my third or fourth time doing it. However, it is my first time ever doing it since I started this BookTube channel. And I'm not sure, but I think I might film a little of the process of this read-athon and do it like a vlog style. Maybe I'll post a video of it. So probably around noonish Monday, which is when we will be releasing this video, I will start my 24-hour read-athon. So I'm going to read for 24 hours, and I'm going to try to get as much read as possible. As I've said in the past, I'm a slow reader, so my goal is around 600 pages. Now, I know from past experience I'm not going to read 24 hours straight. I'm probably going to take a break to sleep. Usually what I do is try to get about 4 hours of sleep. So a good 20 hours dedicated to reading and only reading. Of course, with some breaks for, going to the potty, eating, stretching, things like that. But what am I going to do? I'm going to read all of these. I'm going to finish A Righteous Thirst for Vengeance. That won't take me hardly any time. 2 chapters left of this, so we'll get that done. I'm going to read Full Dark, No Stars, the entire book. It's not the biggest Stephen King book, of course. With the afterwards, 368 pages. And Autumn Cthulhu I'm going to finish up. I have, 200 pages left of this. So 568, 570, right around there. So hopefully I can get all this done in my 24-hour read-athon, close to 600 pages, which for me is good. I mean, like I said, I'm a slow reader. I read about 30 pages an hour. I'm slow. Don't pick on me, Graz. All right, so that's what we're going to do later today, around noonish. We'll go 24 hours till noon on Tuesday. All right, let's talk about TALTOS. TALTOS, of course, is the third book in the Mayfair Witches, which, of course, started with The Witching Hour by Anne Rice. I did not do a review of this on this channel. I read this years ago and just had never read the other two books in the trilogy. So for spooky, season, October, I thought, hey, I'll finish that trilogy. So I read Lasher. You can look at that video. I did that video last week. You can check that video out. And, of course, the third book, TALTOS. Now, let's get the numbers out of the way for TALTOS. TALTOS, of course, is written by Anne Rice. And this was published originally in September of 1994. I have the original hardback. It's 467 pages. On Goodreads, it has a 3.81, which I think is pretty high, to be honest with you. I gave this 2 stars. Yeah, this is not a good book. Shortest of the 3, so I was able to get through it pretty easily. Let's talk about it a little bit. I'll try not to give too many spoilers, but you know me when I start rambling. So we're introduced to a couple new people, several new people in this book. One of them is a gentleman by the name of Ash. Yes, that's short for Ashler or Lasher. He happens to be a doll maker and producer. He owns a company that makes high-end collectible dolls. He's in New York City, and he's mega rich. Mega rich. To the point where, of course, he has chauffeurs and secretaries and people around him all the time. He even, like when he drives places, he has guards, driving these black limousines through wherever. He's got his own private jets, things like that. Mega rich. And of course, he's a TALTOS. Yes, he is hundreds, maybe possibly thousands of years old. We don't know. He is starting to actually get white in his hair. So TALTOS do age. We find out they do age. They do die of old age eventually. Of course, if they're not murdered before that, they do. But they just age so much slower than we do, than normal humans do. So we meet him, and of course, he's a big part of this story. We also meet, he's got like a little sidekick dude. His name's Samuel. He's a little people. He's from the little peoples of Scotland. And ancient hidden little people of Scotland, he's actually one of them. Is he a leprechaun? Is he a dwarf? I mean, they don't really say he's of the little people. He's very short. He's very gruff, kind of rude all the time. He's a drunk. He drinks constantly. But they're close friends. He and Ash are close friends. But so he's involved. You can meet him. There's more. We meet more of the Talamasca, and we find out that there are some nefarious people in the organization of the Talamasca that are killing people that, well, their goal is to try to get a male TALTOS and a female TALTOS together to start having babies, because they can have babies every 15 minutes, basically. Whenever they have sex, they get pregnant. And they can rise up and take over the world. That's these nefarious people that are members, but not members of the Talamasca. You got to read it. Kind of interesting. So that's some intrigue introduced into this, because they kill Aaron Leitner. Aaron, of course, now part of the Mayfair family, older Talamasca, been in all the books. You know Aaron if you've read the books. he gets murdered by these nefarious members of the Talamasca, and that really pisses off Rowan and Michael, and they decide to go to Europe to try to hunt down and find these evildoers and take vengeance for Aaron. And they think it's the whole Talamasca now who actually is evil, and we just didn't know this all along. It turns out it's just, you know, a group of them that are. Yuri, of course, runs off to try to find out what's going on too. So Yuri's left. Yuri, which leaves Mona behind. We know Mona Mayfair is the 13-year-old cousin of Rowan that, of course, had sex with Michael Curry, Rowan's husband. And so she's left at home, and we find out she's pregnant. Yes, she got pregnant from Michael. And what we learn is that Michael is also a Mayfair. Yes. So back in his history, he was descendant of the Mayfair, and he is also a witch. That's why he was able to make the baby with the double chromosomes, which was how Lasher got into the baby that Rowan had. And now Mona's pregnant. Is she going to have a TALTOS herself? Oh my goodness. Yeah, so this book is kind of all over the place. We meet some more Mayfairs. I'm not going to go into everybody that we meet. I just have to say, this book is not good. This book is it worth reading? Yes. If you are this far, if you're this deep into the Mayfairs, the witches, you have to read this book. You got to finish it. That's where I'm at. But it's not a good book. There are things in it, though, that you are going to want to know, again, if you're this deep into the Mayfairs. You learn a lot more about the Talamasca, which is kind of cool. You learn a lot more about Lasher or Asher, Saint Asher, Ash. You learn this whole history. She does like she did in the other books. At one point, Ash sits down and talks for hundreds of pages, just telling his story from beginning to present, which you are going to want to know if you're in this deep. And some of it's interesting. Some of it, she did some research. It's a subject that I've done a lot of research in my lifetime, is the ancient Celts and Ireland, Scotland. I'm 50% Irish myself, and I've done a lot of study in this area about ancient times. I do like ancient history, and she gets a lot of it right, and it's interesting in this book. So that's a reason why you might want to read it. It does start out, it's got this intrigue where they're hunting down these bad people in Talamasca. They all, of course, end up meeting Ash, and they know who he is, of course. He's 7 feet tall, and they can smell him. They have their own smell. So you have that intrigue going on. You have the whole history storytelling, and then you have Mona being pregnant, and suddenly the pregnancy is accelerated. Why would that be? Because she's having a TALTOS baby of Michael's. There's more purple prose in here. I've just come to the realization, I don't know why I didn't know this, why I didn't realize this before, that she's just, Anne Rice is just a writer of erotica. She loves her erotica. And that's all this is. With a story thrown in there, kind of. It's not good. It's not good writing. It's not good storytelling. Again, I've mentioned it before. I just don't like the way she writes anyways. I've got 10 more of her books, I think, on my bookshelf. All the vampire stuff. I've read The Interview with the Vampire. I didn't like that. I'm probably never going to read those books, and they're just taking up space on my bookshelf. and I don't like to get rid of books, so who knows? But I have no reason to read any more of this. Really, if you haven't started reading these, I know, Kim, you enjoyed The Witching Hour. The Witching Hour is the best. Lasher is next, and then TALTOS is the weakest of them all. But really, getting into Lasher, you know, you're starting to go down a slippery trail of garbage. Yeah, I said it. It's garbage. It's really not worth reading. I gave it 2 stars. But that's it. That's all I have to say. I don't have anything good really to say about it, except there is some cool history in there. There is a little intrigue with the Talamasca and the people that are murdering, but it's not even done well. There is an old aging TALTOS female that we are introduced to, and that's how we kind of learn that TALTOS do die eventually of old age. So that was kind of interesting, but really not good. And I mean, it's a shame. I spent all this time reading these books for spooky season, and they just weren't that good. But I don't know. Interesting enough, I guess. I don't know. If you love Anne Rice, you love her writing style, yeah, I think you're going to dig it. If you don't mind the incest and the pedophilia and I don't even want to get into that in this book. Oh, it's ridiculous. All right, so that's it. I'm going to try to edit this again and get this video out to you. And I'm going to start my 24-hour read-athon and try to enjoy my, well, staycation. I'm staying home. I got a lot of stuff to do around the house. But at least the weather's getting cool out. It's only in the 60s right now in Florida. That's awesome. But yeah, like always, if you have find any entertaining value in my videos, please like and subscribe. Please leave me some comments. We're still running, you know, the Folio Society giveaway. And I still haven't had a lot of people actually enter the giveaway. So your chances are good if you've entered. So until next time, peace out.